Back now to our top story, President Uhuru Kenyatta putting the final touches to his second-term cabinet. Let's try and make sense of what we're reading into this, kind of read the tea leaves from this. Professor Herman Manyora is joining me now, the commentator. What is your general take from what you've seen announced?
First of all, we must now say it's good that the president has a cabinet in place to end speculation. Again, we must then congratulate those who have won. Yeah, my people will be happy that Eugene is in.
He's survived.
He's now bigger and stronger.
The evolution is a big...
Yeah, that's the general view that it's good that you end anxiety in the country. Those who are fired, let them know they are fired. And those who are in, let them celebrate. And
but nobody was fired. Everybody got an ambassador's position.
That's an interesting bit. You know, it's like you say somebody can do well here, then you send him to represent us in a serious place like France, the UN, and so on and so forth. I think that's not good for them, for the country. And then, you know, again, you see things like there's some mismatch here and there. People are talking about Amina Mohammed.
Education,
and a few others, yeah. Some little mismatch here and there.
So you think those who are dropped from the cabinet should have just been let to go home?
Yeah, if somebody can deliver, let them go home.
No soft landing.
5 years of being 4.5 years of being a minister in this country is enough to, all of them have put up houses, those who didn't have bought houses, because finally, at the end of the day, when the president gives you a job, Larry, it's not to do the job.
Right.
You make some little money. If you are living in Buruburu, you go to Runda. That's it. Yeah.
Do we see, how does this compare with his last cabinet? They had his TNA side and Deputy President William Ruto's URP. Now in the list, do you see a clear delineation between who was Uhuru's and who was Ruto's? You
can't see that clear-cut division that tells you this is Ruto, this is Uhuru. But if you look a little more keenly, you are likely to conclude that there is more Uhuru than Ruto in this cabinet.
Why do you say that?
Well, the names. You just look at the names and you think, looks like there's more Uhuru than Ruto.
I want to talk about an aspect that came out of this. The Chief Administrative Secretary is something the President has introduced. And the way he introduced it is, I have decided. So these are some of those Chief Administrative Secretaries. Rachel Shebesh was obviously woman rep in Nairobi. Ababu Namwamba was the MP for Budalangi. Ken Oburo was MP in Kisumu. Now, people are calling this the Assistant Minister.
The first thing you see that this is a reward. They are rewarding those they had promised. But again, the president can't just decide. We gave ourselves a constitution. We got it the hard way. And we were ending this idea of one man decided. We have told the president you have powers to appoint cabinet secretaries, principal secretaries. In between or somewhere down there, we have not told him. So I think there are people who are arguing that the president seems to be returning the assistant ministers.
Yes.
And I think that's through the back door.
These are more of them. A former governor, Winnie Gushu, was a TNA and then Jubilee official, Nathan Geshuhie. All of these are people who are political.
Yeah. You know, I think there was so much promise made. There were so many people waiting for the reward rally that something of this nature had to happen, except it's not good for the country. Kenyans said they didn't want assistant ministers. We said we wanted a maximum of 22 ministers.
Right.
Now that we have given that maximum, you still have people waiting around you. You create positions and you say you've decided. I don't think that's what Kenyans wanted.
But where will Gideon Mung'aro and Simon Kachapin, the former governor, and Chris Obure get jobs?
Did they get?
Yes, they're also chief administrative secretaries.
I told you, all these people are supposed to be rewarded. And now they are being rewarded. Except, I think, basically, since whatever position you get in this country, at the higher levels, minister, PS, and this new chief administrative assistant, all these things are to make you get something to your pocket. There are many ways the president can ask you to form a company and you get some tender here and there instead of getting a job.
Speak to this explicitly. You might have already mentioned it.
Yes.
Can the president decide to create this new position and give them to politicians?
No. The constitution is very clear. The president will form cabinet. That cabinet will be between something and 22. There will be principal secretaries. They have found a way of creating state departments, so they have more than I think they should have. But now to create something, would this person, would they be higher than the principal secretary? So that they are in between the principal secretary and the cabinet secretary? That will have to be in the constitution, and it's not in the constitution. So I don't think he can just create. There are things he can do. There are small jobs he can create. He can give them parastatal jobs, but he cannot create a position like that that is directly in conflict with the constitution. And I think he's making those who say that the president didn't support this constitution, and therefore he's openly violating it. he's making them sound right.
Okay.
Which is not good.
I want to talk about also some notable names in this list, because people are reading into that as well. We see, for instance, Amina Mohamed being moved from foreign affairs to education. Keriako Tobiko, now we know his ministry, it's environment. The former governor, Uhuru Kenyatta, is going to Labour. What do you make of this?
I've said this, Larry, and let me repeat this, that nobody is appointed to do anything. You are appointed to live well. So, to ask him whether Amina Mohamed can do well in education is to say there is something somebody can... Supposing I was made Minister for Education, myself,
yes.
Manyora CS Education, and I told the President, this laptop nonsense, forget. This and this, forget. And I give good reasons. Will they listen to me? They will not listen to me. So, they already have decided what they want to do, and they put you there to help them do it, and at the same time, go home with something in your pocket. So to say Amina Mohamed cannot run education, I don't think makes sense to me.
More notable names. Farida Karone is Cabinet Secretary Lands. She was Chief Operating Officer at Royal Media, and she gave me my first job on TV.
Yes.
So congratulations to her. Nelson Marwa, who everybody knows because of his work at the Coast, PS in Devolution. And Monica Juma is getting upped from the Permanent Secretary now to the Cabinet Secretary.
That's a tough, intelligent woman. She can almost do any job, I trust. You see now, people are saying, if you are matching abilities and experience with the job you are giving, you see, this proves me right. Marwa would have been in Interior.
Right.
With Matiang'i.
Because
both
of
of them,
experience
no
there.
nonsense.
Yes.
And they can do a good job in that. Well, if you think they are doing a good job, they'll do a good job. But the rest, you know, there's a lot of mismatch that you can see.
She's got a background in media. She's now going to be in charge of lands.
Yes. Well,
and you know who is PS in lands still? Muraguri.
Muraguri. PS, so what is she? She's the CS.
She's the Cabinet Secretary.
She's a big person now, yeah.
And then Monica Juma's, people are reading into Monica Juma's, what I guess it's a promotion.
Yeah, of course,
and the fact that she had to be promoted and Amina Mohamed moved to another ministry.
But give her the due she deserves. This is a capable woman. This lady is capable. And she can almost handle any ministry. People hate her no-nonsense approach to issues, but she can do any job.
Excellent. I want to go to the last bit of the notable names here because we're trying to really make sense of all of them and really see what does this mean. What do you think this cabinet translates to? What does it say about President Kenyatta's second term?
Well, you see, I don't hold much... I really don't think much about a cabinet. I'm one of those Kenyans who believe this country can go far if we place the right men in the right positions. And I'm not saying any of these guys is not right, but I'm saying the environment in which you operate as a cabinet secretary, you will have to be a Moses Budamba Mudavadi, you will have to be a Michuki, you will have to be a Nyachae, so that despite all these inhibitions and the controls and the beacons you are operating around, placed around you, that despite all that, you as a person, what you bring to the ministry can make a difference.
Right.
But the majority of these people are average men and women who must be given the right conducive environment, and they cannot break the walls created.
Okay.
So you need to be a Michuki to break that wall, to do something beyond what the system wants you to do.
Prof, who don't you know? I thought your name would be here. CS,
I thought
PS.
so. I waited and I waited. I didn't say it. I hear there's one remaining.
There's a few rows that are left.
Until that one is filled,
yes,
I'm not giving up.
Don't lose hope.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Herman Manyora, always a pleasure having you come on and just make sense of it. People got these jobs so you can live well, and he has no faith in the cabinet, I think. Okay, so. Vicky, back to you.